Now it's time for our Wilfork Wednesday. We got Vince Wilfork with us. And Vince, how you doing? I want to start with the quarterback situation here in New England and just what you thought of Bailey Zappe and what he did against the Lions on Sunday.
Well, I think he did a good job. And the quarterback best friend is the running game. And I told you that last week with going into this week, the best way you can help this young quarterback, his first career NFL start, is to have a great running game. And that's exactly what displayed. So I look forward to more of that going forward, as long as he's playing quarterback. And at the same time, he will continue to learn and understand what it takes to be an NFL quarterback at this level.
All right, Ramondre Stevenson obviously stepping up last week and helping that running game in a big way. And, of course, the other best friend for a young quarterback like that is having the defense score a touchdown and keeping the other team off the scoreboard. And you talked about the Patriots needing to put it all together. What did you think of the defensive performance that we saw, and what looked different from the previous few weeks?
Well, the thing is, really nothing. They made plays. That's what it's all about. When you have a quarterback that's young, you don't know how he's going to respond. So everybody around him is going to have to step their game up. And I think the defense did exactly that. They went out, played hard, but they do it every week. So there's nothing they changed. They just capitalized on mistakes that was made and kept the ball game where it needed to be. And anytime as a defense you can walk away with a 0 and a goose egg on the board, you've done something very, very well. So that credit the Patriots defense for going out and getting that goose egg, because when I played, we loved them. We loved them.
All right, they did just that, and it was against, again, the highest gaining offense, the top offense in the NFL, at least statistically. And obviously you can poke holes in that, especially after what we saw. One other thing I want to get to from last week before we move forward is you look across the NFL, and you had 2 roughing the passer penalties, which got a lot of attention. You had Grady Jarrett, Chris Jones. What do you think of the rule and how challenging it makes things for a defensive lineman?
Man, it's everything is against the defense. I mean, at some point, it's like both of those plays was bogus, honestly. I mean, you ask a defender, how do you want a guy to tackle? Chris Jones got the ball in his hand and braced himself going down. Like, what else do you want the guy to do? And I think the NFL going to have to do something about it, because it put a defense player at a position in, how many times you wanted to change the way we tackle somebody? I mean, you might as well, when the quarterback get touched, just blow the whistle. That's just the end of the day. If he's touched and grabbed, blow the whistle, call it dead, and move on, because we can't continue to have that. I mean, it's just ridiculous what happened this weekend. Unbelievable.
Can you imagine if you were Chris Jones in that situation? You get the sack fumble and you're ready to celebrate and everything else, and you're like, whoa, hold on a second, that's going to be roughing the passer.
It's bad. It's bad. So, like I said, hopefully NFL get a rule that can kind of change some things. But as a defender, they make it tougher and tougher for us defenders to be able to defend, to be able to do our jobs, is tackle and make plays. But, we've seen this, time and time again each year, that some type of rule change come into effect. Hopefully they can get this squared away soon rather than later.
I agree. We need to see, some of those sacks, some of those big plays. I think they really change the momentum of the game and certainly make it more interesting. All right, now I want to move ahead to the Patriots and who they have this weekend, and that would be the Cleveland Browns. And you see Nick Chubb on the other side. He's the NFL's leading rusher. He's averaging 3 yards after contact. What is it like to go up against running backs that seemingly are just much tougher to bring down?
Well, everybody's at the point of attack, and it's going to have to be game tackling. Everybody have to stay in their lanes and their gaps, because this guy is a great running back. I mean, he's been doing it since he came into the league, and it's a reason that he's, the league leading rusher. He's proven it every year since he's been in the game. So as a defense, you got to be able to game tackle, and you have to be able to tackle with a purpose. And understand, going in this game, your job is to stop the run, number one. It is very, very crucial this week. And I think the down for that is you have to be able to win first down. If you can win first down, kind of get them in a second and long situation, you can kind of manipulate and understand what they do next. But when you have a running back and just get 6, 7, 8 yards whenever he touches the ball, that's a problem. So it's going to be all on the defense, especially the front seven, to being able to hold him in check. and make Cleveland, if they're going to beat them through the air.
All right, and meanwhile, you know what? That would be Jacoby Brissette. And the Patriots, of course, are familiar with Jacoby Brissette, having been drafted by New England and getting some starts here. Is there an advantage? You know, does Bill almost, you think, have an advantage and use that within the locker room and the meetings and everything else when facing a former Patriot in this situation?
Well, it depends. You know, really no, because when a guy leaves, they go to a whole nother organization and a whole nother offensive defense. So the game is similar, but it's not. So, you know, Cleveland run a totally different offense. And they probably asked him to do something different than what he was doing when he was in New England. So I don't think there's no advantage there unless it was something that Bill and the coaching staff knew when they had him, that he had a telltale with something. But other than that, there's no advantage there, honestly.
All right. How do you feel about this weekend, Patriots-Browns?
It's going to be a challenging game. You know, this is going to be a game where if we can pull this one out, and I think we can, and I think the way we pull this out is defensively being able to stop the run and mimic offensively what we did last week with the run game. I think if we can do that, we will be okay beating the Cleveland Browns. All
right. I like where your head's at, too, because the Patriots, they are underdogs in this one, but I think it's a good spot for them
It's
here.
okay.
Yeah, embrace it, right? Embrace it. All right, let's get to the Blitz now. And, of course, last week, everyone was talking about the old school Pat the Patriot logo. And you saw that. Obviously, you know, you got the Flying Elvis. That's the standard one. Which one do you like more?
Old school. Give me the old school.
Pat the Patriot?
Pat the Patriot. Absolutely.
I think a lot of people would be on board with that and just going with that full time. Meanwhile, Matthew Judon likes to wipe his mouth after every sack. What would your sack celebration be for today's NFL?
Nothing. I was a simple player. Get back to the huddle and keep it moving because I didn't have a lot of sacks, so I didn't waste a lot of time trying to come up with a sack dance.
All right, you're a team guy. That's why. Pumpkin pie or apple pie?
Yeah.
And can you remember ever seeing Matt Patricia without a pencil behind his ear?
Never, ever, ever have I seen him without one.
I mean, honestly, he must just go to bed and the pencil's still there and just wake up.
He go to bed with it. He shower with it. He cook with it. He do everything with it.
It's crazy. Meanwhile, you had Gottschalk calling the Lions' decision to go for it on fourth down insulting. What's the most insulting thing that an opposing offense can do?
Against the Detroit Lions, they had a play where they had a center and two guards, and at the snap, the guards went opposite, and they tried to sneak it and got hit for a loss against us.
Okay. Yeah, that was a big mistake on their part there, wasn't it? All right, Vince Wilfork. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for joining us.